What's up, guys? It's John Dominique, the Sole Proponent, and today I want to talk about belief in God. I have some important information I need to share with people, especially those in traditional Christian households who grew up in the conventional Christian belief systems. We need to be careful because belief in God can actually backfire. The reason I say that is because on the path to the soul, on the path to liberation and spiritual awakening, we need to let go. It's a undoing of our attachments. And we're not encouraged to do that in traditional Christianity. In traditional Christianity, in fact, it's the opposite. We're encouraged to believe in God and increase the intensity of our belief. But the truth that sets us free sets us free. It doesn't make us more attached to beliefs. So what I'm saying is this can backfire. On the path to the soul, it's an undoing, an unlearning, a reversal of our needs, of our intense desire to believe in any type of concept, any type of idea, no matter how good that thing is that we're believing. It's not the truth that sets us free, even if it's a belief in God. This is not often talked about. It's not common knowledge, but I think it's important that I share this because I had a spiritual awakening and I was a traditional Christian. I was a Catholic. And the harder I believed, the more I realized I was trying to overcompensate for feelings of inadequacy, of deficiency. I was trying to avoid what would happen if I were to let go of my beliefs. And I believed so intensely, I got to the point where I felt so worthless. I felt I needed to die to make up, to compensate for that worthlessness that I felt. And I threw myself into what I thought was hell. But I didn't get hell. I got heaven. I got the reverse. And I realized all that time that I was believing in Jesus was actually a detriment to my awakening. Now, I'm not saying don't believe in God. I think it's important that we do believe in God up to a point. Now, when we're young and we don't know any better, we need something to hold on to. We need some type of security foundation. But the issue is when we hang on to that forever, the need to believe, we can never let go. And that's not the truth that sets us free. That creates more suffering in the long run. So we have to know that eventually we're going to have to let go of our beliefs if we want to experience the truth that sets us free, basically. Now, when I look at it deeply, this need to believe, this need to hold on, comes from childhood. When we're young and we're babies, we need something to hold on to. So in psychological literature, they call it like the transitional object. These are objects, beliefs, ideas that we hang on to, like little teddy bears and blankets or sucking in your thumb. Instead of doing these things as children, we trade what we're holding on to for beliefs in Jesus, for example. And we're just using trading one transitional object for another. So that can backfire because we hold on to these beliefs forever, and that becomes ingrained in our system. It becomes concretized. The identity is trying to find a sense of foundation, security. It doesn't want things to change. It wants to hold on. It wants to grasp. It's attachment. And attachment is not the truth that sets us free. It's the reverse. It's actually the trap. So believing in God and believing in Jesus can actually backfire. It can make things worse. And when people hear this, a lot of times they tend to judge themselves. It tends to sometimes become a way of making things worse because it reinforces the identity and its need to believe. Sometimes we go and we believe harder. We double down on our beliefs once we figure out that this is actually making things worse because we don't know what else to do. The ego identity has its ways. It's set. It's doesn't want to change. And what's going to happen is, once we start to realize that we need to let go of these attachments, there's going to be a lot of suffering. And underneath that suffering, there's a lot of pain. And underneath that pain, there's feelings of worthlessness, deficiency. We need to face those feelings in their entirety and allow them to be there. And there's going to be emptiness, a resulting emptiness. And most people are using their belief in God, to avoid this emptiness. And avoiding that emptiness is actually making things worse. It's going to backfire, because the truth sets us free. If we're using belief in God as a way to avoid emptiness, that's not the truth that sets us free. No matter how good that thing is we're hanging on to, it's not the truth that sets us free. So we'll have to come to this realization eventually, sometime on the path of the soul. I'm not saying you have to do it now, but you just have to be aware that belief in God can actually backfire and make things worse, because we're avoiding emptiness, we're avoiding the process of spiritual awakening and the truth of what's there, the truth that sets us free. You know, traditional Christianity is good in a way, but we can't hold on to it forever, because it's not the truth that sets us free, and it's suffering. And you can see it's a cycle. You can see for yourself. So my message today is that, belief in God is good, but attachment to belief in God is not. John Dominique, the Soul Proponent.